Hi, you got me farming again here. Today I actually just got called in this week to help out on the farm. We needed some extra help at harvest, and I like that. I don't mind doing some harvest. You can see the combine going down there. We're working on lentils here today, and this is what I get to drive. I got the tractor with the grain cart. That's my favorite job. You get to race like crazy. Now I have just a few moments before I get called to go and do a pickup again, so I want to show you something really quickly here. This has got to be one of the coolest things that's in our fields here. This is, right over here, you can see it? That is a classic old homestead. There's not many of these around anymore. This thing is, I'm told, about 105 years old. And there was a family that lived there for many, many years, and they didn't start like this, but this was kind of their ultimate beautiful house. And if you can see it now, it's just I mean, it should be a heritage site, you know? It's pretty cool. Except that the thing is, I think all that's living in there now is like raccoons and rats and all sorts of things like that. But just to have a look at this, I wanted to talk about an idea here, which is to just look at how things have changed. If you've spent any time around farms, you know that there's always something new, always some sort of progress happening. And if you can just see the way that we're going to take off this quarter section here in less than a day, just 2 combines, 1 grain cart, and it's going to be done. And it would have taken these guys here, it would have taken them weeks with 18 people working and horses and whatnot. It would have been crazy. The reason why I want to talk about this is just a quick leadership idea of progress. Progress is normal, it's natural, it's going to happen. That's just the way the human is. And the thing to do is to look at this building and realize that in 50 years, the systems and the style of work that you're doing, the organizations that you're working with are going to be just like this. They're going to be archaic. And this is kind of tough for us to deal with when we built it, and then 5, 10, 15 years later, it's no longer worth anything. It's no longer good except to be put in a museum or looked at and appreciated from a distance. But, I mean, we can appreciate this, but tell me honestly, how many of you would actually spend the night in that thing? So here's the thing. We need to get into the habit of constantly learning. Now, I know you've heard this before, but in some of our organizations, we can honestly get stuck, and I've seen it. All you got to do is take a look at some organizations, and you can tell that they are stuck in a rut. They're doing things that were done about 15, 20, 25 years ago. You can, especially if you go to churches or some government organizations, but then there's others that are just constantly rebuilding and refreshing. What happens is if you don't rebuild and refresh, you're going to end up like that, and you're just losing out. You got to stay on top of things. Now, obviously, I'm not saying anything that you've never not heard before, except this. In some organizations, you run into people that are dragging their heels and whatnot, so I'll give you this little tip. If you want to change, help people to adopt and change, a little trick is to, instead of calling it change, call it learning. We're a learning organization. It's code for change. But it's an organization that's going to not get stuck like this, like stuck in the past. I mean, you can take some pictures, put it up on a wall, you know, even just put a nice little grass frame around it, but don't stay there. Progress is constantly happening. It's not always good, but you can't stop it. That's your thought for the day. Hope you enjoy yourself. Oh, by the way, if you want, please like my comments, or leave some comments for me, or email me. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks.